Classically, the shaman was a man or a woman of power. They had mastered working with energy.
A shaman is someone who's always been able to determine from nature, from all of nature around them, the information that might help improve the quality of life of their village.
They're the wisdom keepers, the healers, the midwives, the herbalists, the one who mediates between the visible and the invisible world.
First shaman might have been the one who figured out how to keep a fire burning in the village, and then figured out the animal migrations for the hunt, and then the cycles of the seasons and the plant medicines, and became the storytellers. Shamanism is, comes from ancient roots, which all of us at some point in our cultures, no matter what culture, have a history of. And only recently in our modern technological world have we, sort of separated ourselves from that aspect of the soul or the energetic. We're remembering that that's a very useful worldview, that can actually solve a lot of our world problems.
The modern shaman is an individual who is a healer, who lives by a sense of ethics. It's an individual that is conscious of their relationship and stewardship of the earth.
The shaman helps people to essentially come into their power and freedom. So freedom from influences of the past, freedom from influences around them that might dictate how they believe the world to be and therefore what they experience in the world.
The task of the shaman, of the healer, is to use their personal power for the good of all, to serve a sacred dream, not their personal dream. We have a need for healers that can bring us back into balance with the earth. Western medicine is extraordinary for the healing of trauma. It's not very good for chronic conditions.
Obviously, if you get hit on the head with a baseball bat and have a depressed skull fracture, you'll need surgery.
We live in a very sick society. We're poisoning our children and keeping them trapped in a medical system that will keep them dependent to the day they die. 1 out of 3 children in America is going to be diabetic. 20 years ago, 1 in 10,000 children was diagnosed as autistic. Today, that's 1 in 100.
It's always about dealing with something after it's manifested. So what we look at in the energetic medicine component is sort of the cause.
The medical establishment has always been very conservative, has not open to changes or new ways of doing things.
My work is actually to bridge that gap between conventional Western outlook on addiction treatment and to actually introduce healing. I often ask people, do you want to be in recovery or would you like to be recovered?
How do people heal that don't have access to MRIs and high technology medicine, that only have the resources of the mind? I met extraordinary healers that did not heal the body directly, but that heal through the luminous energy field that surrounds the physical body.
I had 3 knee reconstructions that kept happening, and I said, there's more to it. There's more to just preparing the body physically. I had the physical fitness, but something was missing.
I've been witness of a major experience. A colleague, a neurosurgeon, that has a kind of depression.
My whole life basically fell apart. I fell in the operating room on a slippery floor and ruined my hands.
And with major physical problems.
I went down to Peru. When I went down there, my post-polio syndrome was getting worse. At the point when I went down there, I had to use a cane. I could barely get into a boat. I could barely walk. I went to a shamanic healing with Maestro Panduro. It was a beautiful night. I was lying on the beach. I brought the medication. I took it. For about a half hour, I didn't experience anything.
I was really concerned because it's a strong, really strong experience.
And I could feel the healing. It was like electrical shocks going through my leg and body.
And I saw him just lying down, just really in a kind of dying situation.
I then felt my spirit leave my body and go up. I saw a complete review of my life, and after this I felt my spirit gradually go back into my body.
And the next day, he shares with us his experience. And it was really a kind of dying, reborn experience.
I got up, picked up my blanket and my cane, and I discovered that I could walk nearly normally.
He begins to walk without the cane. He couldn't even talk clearly. And after that, he begins to talk clearly.
I know that it's effective. I could tell it cured me, but I can't give you any real reason other than that.
Sometimes the medicine that needs to come is medicine for the soul, not for the body.
When we have a part of ourselves that is not available to ourselves, we are not whole. And this is about wellness and wholeness. So our goal is to be whole.
It's about how do we walk in the world with balance? How do we walk in the world with right relationship with our children, with our husbands, with our significant others, at work, with every person we meet?
When you reconnect to the earth and all of the forces of the earth, you reconnect to the medicine that's here for all of us available.
We didn't come here to spend another year in therapy. We came here to go on an epic journey, to make a difference in the world, to explore life and love and creativity. And this is what the shaman does.
We're building momentum for this kind of healing work on this planet today.
The public is beginning to find out, they're beginning to discover on their own that alternative treatments work.
I see it growing. There seems to be a huge wave now at this time in terms of many more people being called to practice it.
It's the beginning of a new time. The Hopi call it the time of Koyaanisqatsi, of the great upheaval, of the great destruction. For us, it's a time of great opportunity.
I think in the future, energy healing, shamanic healing, healing with herbs and medical treatment are going to be complementary. They're going to work together.
If we meditated for 5 minutes a day, said a good affirmation, ate better food, and so forth, that we would feel better. But so few of us actually take those short few minutes to do that every day to improve our lives.
We want our children's children to inherit a different world than the one that we've created for ourselves. I can dream a new relationship with the planet and with our destiny. That's the task of the shaman, is dreaming the world into being.